and everyone, my name is Dr. Divya Bharti. Today I am going to discuss network functions for the subject network analysis and synthesis. Subject code is KC 303. So these are the contents for the today's discussion. First we will see the introduction about the network function. Then we will see different types of network function, that is the driving point functions, transfer functions. Okay. Then we will see the properties of the driving point functions also, properties of the transfer functions also. Then we will see the concepts of poles and zeros, then stability of the network, and we will see some of the examples also. How these network functions are used, what is this network function, how they are used in the stability analysis, okay, of any system, what is the concept of poles and zeros, how they are derived from the network functions. Okay, so these we will see today. So first is the introduction about network function, that a network function gives the relation between the currents and voltages at different parts of the network. Okay, so see, basically network function exhibits the relationship between the output and the input. Okay, so it will give the information about the network or the system. That's why it is called the network function. Okay, so it gives the relation between the current and voltages at different parts of the network. It is broadly classified as the driving point and the transfer function. These are the two types of network function, driving point and the transfer function. It is associated with terminals and ports. Okay, so now any network may be represented as the rectangular box. Okay, and the two terminals associated are called as the terminal or the port. Okay, so any network that is there, that can be represented as this rectangular box. Okay, see, this is the rectangular box. Okay, so this is the rectangular box. So any network can be represented as this rectangular box. Okay, so two associated terminals will be there, that is called as the port. Okay, this is the port. Okay, or terminal pair. See, this is the one port network. So here one terminal pair is there. Okay, or we can say one port is there, only one port is there. Okay, so this is the schematic representation for the two port network. So that's why here two ports are there. This is the one port. Okay, this is the second port, or there are two pair of terminals. Okay, so if there are two pairs of terminals, that is called the two port network. Okay, the port to which energy source is connected, that is called the input port, and the port at which load will be connected, that is called as the output port. Okay, so if we see this example here, 1 dash, this is the one pair of terminal, and second terminal is this 2 dash. Okay, so the such terminal. Okay, so in this part only one, in this one port network, 1 dash terminal is there only. Okay, so this is the one port network, and since here two pair of terminals are there, 1 dash and 2 dash. Okay, so this is the two port network. Okay, so the terminal at which, or the port at which the load will be connected, that is the output port, and the port or the terminal at which source will be connected, that is the input terminal. Okay, so what is the conclusion of this slide? That network function, what is network function? Network function is the function which exhibits the relation between the current or the voltage, or we can say which exhibits the relation between the input and the output. And broadly the network function can be classified into two parts. One is the driving point network function, and second one is the transfer function. Okay, so now any network can be represented as the, with the help of the rectangular box. Okay, with the help of this rectangular shape. Okay, and the terminal will be associated with that box. And if there is one pair of terminal, that is the one port network. Okay, when there are two pair of terminals, okay, that is the two port network as shown here. Okay, so if excitation and response are measured at the same point, that means excitation means input and response means output. So if excitation and response are being measured at the same port, the network function is known as the driving point function. Okay, so for one port network, only one voltage and current was specified. Okay, so here one voltage V and one current I is being specified here. Okay, so for one port network, only one voltage and one current is being shown, hence only one network function can be defined. Okay, okay, so one network function and reciprocal of that network function. Suppose driving point impedance function. Okay, so what is impedance? Impedance is the ratio of voltage and current. So driving point impedance function means it is defined as the ratio of voltage transform at one port to the current transform at the same port. Okay, so Z transform means ZS or V, here Vs and Is. What is Vs? Vs and Is. Is is the Laplace transform of the input current. Okay, and here Vs is the Is is the transform of the current, Laplace transform, and Vs is the Laplace transform of the voltage. Okay, so Vs divided by Is is the Zs, that is the driving point impedance function. And what will be the reciprocal of that? Driving point admittance function. So it is defined as the ratio of the current transform at one port to the voltage transform at the same port. So it is represented with the help of the Ys. Okay, so here two types of driving point functions we are seeing. One is driving point impedance function, another is reciprocal of that, that is driving point admittance function. So now for two port network, okay, so for two port network we are having two voltages and two currents. Okay, so what will be the driving point impedance function? There will be Z11 and Z22. Okay, so because Z11 is the ratio of transform of input voltage to the ratio of transform of input current. Okay, this is Z11s, that is driving point impedance function at input terminal. Now this is the driving point admittance function at the port 1. Similarly, output port 2 was there. So Z22 is the transform of voltage at port 2. I2S is the transform of current at port 2. This is Z22 and reciprocal of this is the Y22. Okay, so for two port network, driving point impedance function, driving point admittance function. Okay, there will be two driving point impedance function. Okay, at port 1 and at port 2. So the coefficients of the polynomial ns and ds are real and positive. Okay, see here we will see this. Okay, so suppose functions, network function is there, ns and ds are the numerator and denominator. Okay, suppose zs, we are writing this as zs as, okay, ns divided by ds. Okay, so the coefficients of polynomial ns and ds are real and positive. They are the properties. Okay, the complex and imaginary poles are the conjugate. Okay, so the what will be the pole and what will be the zero? Suppose now zs is the impedance function or any function, network function. Okay, so ns is the numerator and ds is the denominator. So if we take ns as 0, okay, so this will give the values of 0, and if we take ds equal to 0 and we find out the values with this, then we will be having the poles. Okay, so the complex and imaginary poles are the conjugate pair. So the real part of poles is either negative or 0. Thus all the poles and zeros on the left hand side of the S plane or on the imaginary axis. Suppose we are having the complex poles. Okay, so then the real part of that pole or 0 will be either negative or 0. That means, suppose this is the S plane. Okay, this is the S plane. So all the poles and zeros will lie in this side, in the left hand plane. Okay. So if the real part of any pole or 0 is 0, then the pole or 0 is simple. Okay. So that means it is not being repeated. This includes the origin. So polynomials ns and ds do not have the missing terms between those of the highest and the lowest degree. Okay. So there will be no missing term. Suppose polynomial has been starting from 3, so 3, 2, 1 and 0, all order will be existing. Okay. So the degree of ns and ds will differ by only 1 or there will be no difference. Okay. Degree means highest order of the polynomial. Okay. So ns and ds, degree of ns and ds will differ only by 1 and or 0. So the lowest degree of ns and ds will also be only differing by 1 at most. Okay. So the transfer function is used to describe the networks which have at least 2 ports. Okay, transfer function is used to describe the network or the system which will be having the 2 ports. So it relates a voltage or current at one port to the voltage or current at the another port. Like we had seen the driving function. Okay, driving point function, that means that was related with the voltage and current at the same port, but transfer function will be relating voltage and current to different ports. Okay, so it relates the voltage or current at one port to the voltage or current at another port. So these functions are also defined as the ratio of response transform to the excitation transform. It is the ratio of the transform of response to the ratio of transform of excitation. Thus, there are 4 possible forms of the transfer function. One is that the voltage transfer function, that means it is the ratio of the voltage transform at one port to the voltage transform at another port. It is usually denoted by G. So V2S is the voltage transform at port 2 and V1S is the voltage transform at port 1. Similarly, we will be having G21 also, voltage transform at port 1 to the voltage transform at port 2. Okay. So current transform has been defined as the ratio of current transform at one port to the current transform at another port. So it has been usually denoted by alpha. So I2S divided by I1S or I1S divided by I2S. So the transfer impedance function, okay, V2S divided by I1S. Okay, so it is the ratio of voltage transform at port 2 to the current transform at port 1. Okay, it is Z12S. Okay, and Z21 is voltage transform at port 1 to the current transform at port 2. Similarly, transfer admittance function is there. So this is the ratio of current transform of current at port 2 to the ratio of voltage at port 1. Similarly, Y21S, that is current transform at port 1 to the voltage transform at port 2. Okay. So here the coefficient of the polynomial ns and ds will be real and positive. Complex and imaginary poles are conjugate. Okay, so this we had discussed. So here what are some other points, that these are the properties of the transfer function, that the real part of poles and zeros is either negative or 0. So all the poles and zeros will lie on the left hand side of the S plane. Okay, so the real part of any pole or 0 is 0. That means the pole or 0 is simple. Okay, and not repeated. This includes the origin also. So the polynomial ds may not have the missing term between the highest to the lowest degree. Okay, unless all even terms or all odd terms are missing. Okay, so if there is any term is missing, that means all even term is missing, or if that is happening that a degree is missing, that means all odd terms or all even terms are missing. So the polynomial ns may have missing terms between the highest and lowest order, lowest degree. Some coefficients of ns may be negative too. Okay, so this is the property of the transfer function. So the degree of ns may be small as 0, independent to the degree of ds. Okay, so what was the property of the driving function, driving point function? That the degree of ns and degree of ds may not differ by more than 1. Okay, but here the degree of ns may be as small as 0, independent of the degree of the ds. Okay, so the voltage ratio transfer function g and the current ratio transfer function alpha. Okay, so the maximum degree of ns is the degree of ds. Okay, the degree of transfer function is being defined with the help of the degree of ds, not with the help of ns. Maximum of degree of ns and maximum and degree of ds. For transfer impedance function and transfer admittance function, maximum degree of ns is the degree of ds plus 1. Okay, for the transfer impedance or admittance function. Okay, but for the transfer voltage or current transfer function, okay, so the degree of transfer function is the degree of ds. Okay, which one is maximum out of degree of ns and out of ds? But transfer impedance function and transfer admittance function, degree of ns is the degree of ds plus, the maximum degree of ns is the degree of ds plus 1. So now this is the example that here we need to calculate the driving point impedance function for this one port network. Okay, so R, L and C. R and L are in series and both of these are in parallel with the capacitor. So we need to calculate the driving point impedance function. So here, if we transform this network in S domain, we can write this, we can transform this. Okay, so R will be as it is. Okay, but S we can write S into L and capacitor will be 1 by S into C. So now we need to calculate the ZS. Okay, so here R plus SL is in parallel with 1 by SC. R plus S into L, this is in parallel with 1 by S into C. So now this has been calculated. 1 by S into C into R plus SL divided by R plus SL plus 1 by S into C. Now after simplifying this, we are having this value. Okay, so this is the driving point impedance function for the given network. Now question is, find the driving point admittance function of the given network. Okay, so now here network is given in S domain already. Okay, so what we will do, we will find out the impedance function. Okay, driving point impedance function, then we will take the reciprocal of that, that will be the driving point admittance function. So here 3S plus 1 by 5S, these are in series, but these 2S and 2S are in parallel. So ZS will be 3S plus 1 by S into 5 plus S parallel 1 by 2S. Okay, so now we can write this as, see, 3S plus 1 by 5S plus S into 1 by 2S divided by S plus 1 by 2S. So now we will simplify this. After simplifying, we are having the value as 30 S to the power 4 plus 22 S square plus 1 divided by 5S into 2S square plus 1. So now we will take the reciprocal because we need to calculate the driving point admittance function. So YS is 1 by ZS. So this has become the driving point admittance function. So now question is, find the voltage transfer function. Okay, voltage transfer function. That means Transfer function means voltage or current at another port to the voltage and current at other port. Okay. So now here V2S and V1S, these two voltages are shown. So what we will do, we will calculate the V2S, okay, and V1S, or we will establish relation in between V2S and V1S. So what is the, here what we can write, V2S equal to, so here what is the, this is the V2S equal to V1S into 1 by S into C divided by R plus 1, because this current I2S is being flown here. So here V1S, this is 1 by S into C. See this I1S, this is the current, this is the current. Okay. So now 1 by S into C into I1S divided by R plus 1 by SC into I1S. So I1S will be cancelled out. Okay. So here V1S equal to, sorry, V2S equal to V1S into 1 by SC divided by R plus 1 by S into C. Okay. So now after simplifying, this is the equation that V2S equal to V1S into 1 by RC divided by S plus 1 by RC. So now voltage transfer function is V2S by V1S. So it is 1 by RC divided by S plus 1 by RC. So the network function Fs can be written as the ratio of two polynomial Ns and Ds, as we had discussed. So here if Ns is of order n and Ds is of order m, okay, so it has been written here that an s to the power n plus an minus 1 s to the power n minus 1 plus a1s up to a naught, and similarly we can write this for ds also. So here a naught, a1, an and b naught, b1 up to bm are the coefficients of the polynomial ns and ds respectively. So these are the real and positive. Okay, so these coefficients are real and positive for networks of passive elements. Okay, so let us assume that ns is equal to 0. So and it will be having the n roots. Okay, if we equate ns with 0, then we will be having the n roots. Suppose those are z1, z2 up to zn, and if we equate ds with 0, that will be having the m root, p1, p2 up to pm. Okay, so now this equation fs can be also written as in this form. Okay, so s minus z1 into s minus z2 up to s minus zn divided by s minus p1, s minus p2 and so on. So here, okay, so an divided by bm, okay, so an divided by bm is called as the scale factor. Okay, z1, z2, zn, p1, p2, pm are the complex frequencies. When the variable s has values z1, z2 up to zn, the network function becomes 0. So that's why such complex frequencies are known as the zeros of the network function. Okay, and when the values of s are p1, p2 up to pm, then the network function becomes infinite. So such complex frequency are called as the poles of the network function. Okay, so z1, z2, zn are the zeros of the network function, and p1, p2 up to pm, these are the poles of the network function. So network function is completely specified by its pole, zeros and the scale factor. Okay, so if the poles and zeros are not repeated, then the function is said to be having simple poles or simple zeros. If the poles and zeros are repeated, then the function is said to be having multiple pole or multiple zeros. Okay, when n is greater than m, that is n minus m zeros are at s equal to infinity, and for m greater than n, then m minus n poles are at infinity. Okay, so poles and zeros are critical frequency, complex frequencies. So the function becomes, the network functions becomes infinite at poles, while network function becomes 0 at zeros. So the network function has a finite non-zero values at other frequency. Okay, there will be, other than poles and zeros, the network functions will be finite and non-zero. The poles and zeros provide a representation of network function. Okay, so here network function here, this is the pole zero plot has been shown here. This is the S plane, sigma is there and the j omega is there. Okay, so here these are the representation for the poles and this is for the zeros. Okay, so the zeros are shown by circle and poles are by crosses. Okay, so this diagram is referred as pole zero plot. Okay, so stability of the network is directly related to the location of poles and zeros. So stability of network or stability of any system is directly related with the location of the poles in the S plane. So when all the poles lie in the left half of the S plane, the network is said to be stable. And when the poles lie in the right half of the S plane, the network is said to be unstable. Okay, when the poles lie on the j omega axis, the network is said to be marginally stable. Okay, stable when poles are lying in the left hand plane. When poles are lying in the right half of the S plane, they are unstable. When poles are lying on the j omega axis, okay, when poles are lying on the j omega axis, the network is said to be marginally stable. When there are multiple poles on the j omega axis, okay, multiple poles on the j omega axis, the network is said to be unstable again. Okay, when poles move away from the j omega axis towards the left hand plane, okay, the relative stability is there. Okay, when pole is moving away from the j omega axis to the left half of the S plane, okay, so the relative stability of the network is improving. So here find the poles and zeros of the impedance function, okay, and plot them on the S plane. This is very simple question. Here ZS is given. Okay, so here what we will do, we will transform this into the S domain. Okay, so now we will find the impedance function. Okay, we will calculate the impedance. So these two ohm resistor and S by 2 ohm inductance reactance is in the parallel and it will be connected with series with this capacitor. So now we have, if we calculate this impedance function, it will be 2. This is the impedance function. So now we are required to plot the poles and zeros. So here 2 zeros are there and those zeros are the complex conjugate of each other, and 2 poles are there. One pole is at origin and another pole is at S equal to -4. So here 2 zeros, zero value of the zeros is minus 0.25 minus j 1.4 and minus 0.25 plus j 1.4. Okay, so this is the zeros and this is the position of the poles. Okay, so now this is another example. Okay, so in this also we need to plot the poles and zeros of the function I naught by I1. Okay, so I naught is the current through this capacitor. Okay, so what we will do, we will find the relation between I naught and I1, okay, in transform. So here what we had done, we had transformed the network into S domain. Okay, and we have calculated now I1 equal to C. We can apply the current division rule because this I1 current is being divided into 2 parts. So here by applying current division rule, we can write I naught equal to I1 I1 multiplied with 4 plus 2s divided by 4 plus 2s plus 2 by s. So this is the relation between I naught and I1. So now this is the function for which we need to plot the poles and zeros. So how many zeros are there? 2 zeros are there at s equal to 0 and at s equal to -2, and 2 poles are there and both poles are lying at s equal to -1. Okay, so 2 zeros, s equal to -2 and s equal to 0. Now 2 poles are there, repeated poles are there at s equal to -1. Okay, so here 2 poles are shown. Okay, so this was all about the discussion of the network functions. We had today discussed driving point function, transfer function. We had discussed how stability is related with the poles and zeros, how poles and zeros are calculated, okay, or how poles and zeros are being plotted on the S-plane with the help of the network function. So in next lecture we will continue our discussion. Thank you all.